Hello friends, it is Kathryn, Conscious Creatrix. Hello, happy Saturday, happy World Naked Gardening Day. It's not just here in the US, apparently it is a world event and holiday, so how about that? Isn't that exciting? I'm gonna get started here in just a sec. I'm gonna pull up a couple things real quick so I don't forget what to talk about here. And then we'll get started talking about a very juicy topic and very timely considering the energies that we have that are really empowering, moving into our awareness, hitting the planet right now. So we'll get into it in just a sec. I gotta find myself live here. I need to find myself first. Here we are. Please feel free to invite a friend if you want. If you're watching this replay, go ahead and hit hashtag replay. If you enjoyed this talk and you want more information about what's going on, the energies hitting the planet, and to check in on a weekly basis with what's going on, if you are right here on this business page, Kathryn Massell, Conscious Creatrix, every Sunday I do a weekly energy check-in, and that gets sent to the people on my email list, and it gets put on my YouTube channel. So if you want to receive that right in your inbox every week, easy peasy, get that weekly energy check-in and check into the energies hitting the planet and how they're affecting you right now, and what you can do to optimize these energies and be in the flow of what's going on. You're going to want to go to kathrynmassell.com, and all you need to do is wait for about 4 seconds, and the pop-up box will come up on my homepage for you to sign up to my email list, and I will send you that weekly energy check-in every week. And then you'll also get, first dibs and what else? Notifications on when I am doing a challenge or doing a live like this, and sharing things with you when I'm offering sales or discounts on my group programs, and when I'm offering rare opportunities to add on to DNA activations, because I do 12 and 24 sacred DNA activation and restructuring, which is a proprietary trademark method. No one else is doing this except Samantha Bearden, my friend and mentor, and this is an amazing way to activate your DNA. And I'm going to be adding some things onto that session, so you're going to want to check out my email list to find out when I do it, because I will only offer a few sessions. Okay, I am live. Here I am on my page. Boom, awesome. So I'm going to put in right away the Wealth Consciousness Collective link, because, well, of course, what we're talking about here today is female financial independence, and we're going to talk about why that's so important in just a moment. But to optimize that, you want to actualize your empowerment with your finances. You want to be able to ground this into the physical, meaning you're going to want to change your thoughts. You're going to want to change your feelings. You're going to want to change your behaviors around money if you expect to have a better relationship and financial empowerment with money. So the Wealth Consciousness Collective is a group 8-week mastermind that I teach. I teach it about 3 different times a year. And the next round is coming up actually on May 21st. And so if you go to this link right here, you can jump in on the early bird pricing, which ends today. Today, the early bird price ends. It is only $247. It is an incredibly valuable investment for you to make at this point, because there's so much actionable, valuable content in this program, and it is such an affordable investment. You can't afford not to get in here. When you go to this link, you can also read the client testimonials from those who are ongoing and current clients, because when I teach this program live, and when you sign up at the live price, you are in for lifetime membership, meaning every time I teach this live, you get to come back and up level your money game even more. You get to jump into that higher threshold of money income that you are asking for, that you are desiring. And so a few women have done that already, because I've been teaching it for a year now. I've been teaching it since the middle of 2018. And it is a really powerful program. You will go on such a journey of self-discovery and self-realization in this program, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you are wanting to, change your relationship with money for the better, you're also changing the relationship with yourself for the better. Everything in your life shifts. A lot of the women, when you read some of the customer testimonials, hi Teresa, when you read some of the customer testimonials, you will see that it's not just their money story that was changed. It was many things in their life that started to fall into place and make more sense for them, and other things that weren't supporting them went away, so it could make room for more of the goodness to come in. And this is what happens when we work on our money story. This is what happens when we rewrite a new self-affirming, empowering money story. Everything shifts, and we get to reap the benefits of having more money in our bank account and more financial support to feel stable and secure in this life. So ignoring our money story, I just want to say this right now, and this is really important and powerful for women to hear right now. But this is a little cautionary statement. Don't worry, I'm going to be lifting you up a little bit more, but I want to say this at the outset because it's absolutely true. And I've worked with close to 100 women right now who are, the ladies who are in my group program and the VIP sessions, the private client sessions that I've done, helping women specifically work on their money story and have a more empowering relationship with money, be more financially independent. There's a common denominator that I see happening. And it really is about this. And this is maybe not such a popular idea, but I'm going to say it anyway. Ignoring your money story is one of the ways that you ignore being human. Especially those of us who are really on a journey of spiritual awakening. There are a lot of women who are, and I work with a lot of women who are spiritual entrepreneurs. They are on a path of coming to greater realization of their spiritual infinite selves, and this is all wonderful, but you can't just do that and expect it to affect the whole package of you. You need to actualize, physically embody your spiritual awakening journey. And one of the ways we do this is we empower ourselves in our everyday life. The things that we need to do to just exist in our everyday life. And that means, yes, being someone who has bills to pay. We live in a house or an apartment, and we plunk down money for our mortgage every month or for our rent every month. If we're not meeting the basic needs of being human, it doesn't matter how far you're going along in your spiritual journey of awakening. If you're not grounding this and actualizing it, I call it spiritual actualization. If you're not actualizing this into your physical experience, good luck with your spiritual awakening process, because you're only halfway there. You are not affecting the wholeness of you. Hi, Christine. When you're doing just the spiritual awakening work and you're doing energy activations and maybe you are hoping to create more wealth and financial independence by just focusing on the spiritual energy of you, it's not enough. It's not enough. You have to be doing something that impacts the human you, okay? Meaning you need to start becoming more conscious of your subconscious. You need to start thinking about the thoughts that you have every day about money. You need to start feeling into a little bit more and being cognizant of the feelings that you have about money. You need to be more self-aware of how you're behaving with money, how you act around money, okay? You need to start thinking a little bit more about the memories that you have about money, how that's affecting you in your adult life. And yes, the memories that you have from the time you were a tiny, impressionable human on this planet. It's really important to take all of these things into your account about how are you being a human with your spiritual experience? How are you actualizing what you're doing in the ethers with your everyday existence? If you are not marrying and merging these two, you are not truly on a journey of becoming the whole you that is destined to really know her greatness, to realize her greatness here on this planet at this time. And this is just going to become more and more painful of a realization for those of you who are not getting on board with, realizing where your I don't want to say human weaknesses, but where your pitfalls are as a human, where you're really struggling with being a human, okay? And a lot of us really struggle with money. And if you are ignoring your money story, especially, because this is one of the ways that we really have this concrete idea of being a human and having exchange of value here on this planet, is with money. If you are ignoring your money story, it's one of the ways you are ignoring being human. Hi, Courtney. So I really want you to just think about this, kind of let this idea wash over you, let it ruminate in your consciousness, and just sit with this idea for a moment that you may be ignoring some very important things about your everyday existence, and that may have to do with money, and it probably does, okay? Where do you need to straighten out your money story? Where you need to straighten out your money story is where you need to straighten out your relationship with yourself. A lot of the feelings that we have about money have to do with judgment, okay? When we are in a place of judgment, and usually this comes from a very deep place of judging ourselves, we are also repelling money from us. If we have a lot of self-judgment, meaning we are feeling unworthy, or we don't value ourselves, we don't believe in ourselves. If we're holding on to a lot of shame, the other day I did a quick video about the toxic energy of shame as being one of the most toxic emotions that repels money from us, especially if we have any spiritual shame. And spiritual shame can come from having, grown up with some sort of indoctrination. Usually organized religion is really good about giving you kind of this false indoctrination that money is bad, that money is evil. It's not at all. It's just a neutral energy, and it is just an agreed upon means of exchange among humans here on this planet. That's all it is. That's all money is. Anything else that you have believed or taken on as a belief that money is something that you have projected onto it. It is just a neutral energy. But we have a lot of spiritual shame, especially when I work with a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs. This is one of the things that I really, really help women work on and help them to kind of blow apart the illusion that making money, being a spiritual entrepreneur, is somehow bad. It is not. In fact, it's spiritual as fuck, because the more money you make, especially as a spiritual entrepreneur, the more full your vessel is to be able to give the greatest and highest expression of you in whatever client session you're offering, in whatever group program you're offering, in whatever one-to-one client exchange that you are having. You are able to give that much more of yourself because you're not worried about, how am I going to pay the bills? How many times, and I will put my hand up on this one, but how many times have you been in, those of you who are spiritual entrepreneurs, a spiritual healing session with someone where you want to be listening, you want to be tuned in, you want to be intuitively checked in with your higher self to the higher self of your client, but you're worried about, okay, how am I going to pay the bills this month? How am I going to pay rent? I can't even afford my grocery bill this month. What if I get my utilities turned off? Okay, now think about how much energy that is sapping from you in a very sacred exchange that you would have with a client, whether you're in a one-to-one session or you're in a group program. If you're thinking about any of that stuff, you are diminishing your greatness and your ability to serve in the highest and best way. If you remove that from the scenario, the worrying, the panic, the anxiety, the denial maybe that you have about money, how much room then have you freed up in your energetic vessel to show up and serve that client better, to serve humanity better? It's a no-brainer when you break it down that way. And anyone who's trying to instill any kind of spiritual shame in you for doing the work that you do and charging, appropriately for the value that you offer, anyone who's trying to make you feel bad about that, send them my way and I'll straighten them out. But this has got to stop. This has got to stop. And I can't tell you how many times I have seen this in private client sessions, some of my VIP clients. And when we break through that plateau, because it is a plateau in your belief system, and it is a self-imposed upper limit, even if that idea or belief has been adopted somewhere from outside of you, if you have internalized it and made it an upper limit to your threshold of being able to acquire more income, that's on you. And you need to be able to clear that. And the ladies there's a few of them here, I think right now, who are in the Wealth Consciousness Collective right now, know that I'm going to call you out on your money stuff. I mean, I'm kind of a taskmaster in this program, but it's all done out of mad love and respect for you because I don't want you to hold on to this shit. One of the reasons why I offer this program at such a low investment, please don't confuse this with me not offering value or a high level of content, valuable, actionable content in this program, because that is not the case at all. And maybe some of the ladies here will validate that for me. I want to make this a low investment because I want to make it really easy for you to say yes to you and yes to investing in you having the highest and best experience that you can have in this lifetime with whatever you're doing. I don't care if you're on a fixed income or if you're a spiritual entrepreneur and you make your own money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can be in a place where you are vibrating with a higher wealth frequency to call in more money. And it is imperative for women to be able to do this at this time. That's why I'm so committed to offering this program and offering such high value and such an incredible level of content, making it easy for you to say yes by, offering you a lifetime membership so that every time you want to up-level your money story, you get to come back and do it all again. And I always offer new stuff. I freshen up the material every time I offer it. It is incredible. You really can't afford to say no to this program. That's why I offer it at such a low investment price. But it is imperative that we as women understand that when we have more financial stability and security in our lives, and we're not in a place where we have to be in worry, anxiety, panic, or denial anymore about money and our money story, and where we're not calling ourselves out on our own bullshit. If we're really clear on who we are in our lives with money, in our relationship with money, in our relationship with the world at large, we are better able to step up and do the amazing work that we are meant to do here at this time. We are in a better position to show up in the unique way that only you, me, and everyone you know can, to show up and serve this planet. And when we are feeling empowered with our money, when we are in control of our personal economy, guess what we get to do? We get to be beacons that, we have the positive effects of the changes that we've made. Those ripple out to everyone in and around our field of energy, sometimes even a mile out. Because when you feel this level of empowerment that resonates in the heart, and there's actually a lot of studies now that show that the resonating energy of the heart, especially when we are in a place of feeling fulfilled and we have, a sense of being in this life and having meaning, having purpose, we radiate that frequency from our heart outward to about a mile around us. Think about that. That's incredible. And when you think about it, let's just say when you've been flush with money, when things are good, when you feel like you're in control of your own personal economy, right? You're in control of, we all have debt, but we can feel more in control of our debt and more in control of understanding the energy of debt. And that's one of the things that I talk about in the Wealth Consciousness Collective. But when we're flush with our money and we feel good, right? Doesn't it feel like anything is possible? Doesn't it feel like then we can vote on what we want to happen in this lifetime with our dollars? That we have more opportunities and freedom of choice to be able to kind of, let's just say, elevate the energy of this planet by putting the money that we make towards the things that we care about. Because one of the ways that we vote on having the good stuff happen in this world is with our dollars. And we as women, let's face it, a lot of the women that I talk to, a lot of the women that I work with have very, very high altruistic traits, meaning they're very compassionate, they're very loving, they're very kind. They're worried about Mama Earth. They're worried about the animals. They're worried about all the plastic. They're worried about all the ways that, yes, a lot of things are going wrong in this world, and they're creative in thinking about, well, I could help that. I could put my money in that direction, or I could, if I had more money in my life, that would free up opportunities for me to volunteer for the things that I care about. That's what I do. One of the biggest things for me that is so important is if I am flush with my personal economy and I'm feeling good about my money, Guess what? I get to contribute to more charitable causes that I care about. I tithe 15% of my income every month to different charitable causes. I volunteer with hospice and with the Women's Violence Center here in Tahoe because I am freed up with my time so that I can give of myself. And all the women that I work with have this feeling too. Like, God, if I could just have more money, I could do this, this, this. Well, you can have more money. Stop wishing and start shifting that. Because when you are moving towards and embodying financial independence, these are the things that you get to do. You get to contribute to the world in greater ways. I can't tell you how many times as a spiritual entrepreneur, when I was crap with my money story, when it was horrible and I was all over the place, I was overspending, a little money would come in and then I would spend it all. That was before I knew what my sabotages were. And this is another thing that we work on. We work on learning why we have our excuses and our sabotages around money, learning why we sabotage around money and how to quit that, how to overcome that. And until I learned that, I was spending money all over the place. I mean, money would burn a hole in my pocket. Yeah, maybe I would have a really good month in my business, but then it would all be gone and I'd be in deeper debt because I would overspend. And when I also learned kind of the archetype that I have with money and how I create money and how I spend money, I was able to get a better handle on this because I'm taking Denise Duffield Thomas's Sacred Money Archetypes program right now, which is amazing. I highly recommend it. And talk about self-discovery, you're going to learn a lot about yourself in that. But until I was doing that, until I was there, I was thinking about, God, I could offer so much more to my clients if only I could afford to make this program. If only I could afford to free up more of my time to offer these one-on-one sessions. If only, because I was really called to DNA activation and restructuring. My friend and mentor, Samantha Bearden, I wanted to get in this program for so long, and I was like, I can't afford it, I can't afford it, I can't afford it. But meanwhile, I was being called to do it in a really big way. And I knew that we had worked together before, Samantha and I, and with Mother Creatrix DNA and with the downloading of that information coming in for me, I was like, I gotta do something with this. I wish I had the money and the time to be able to devote myself to, number one, taking mentoring from Samantha and learn sacred DNA activation and restructuring, funnel that into and merge that with what I'm doing with Mother Creatrix DNA. God, I wish I had the money and the time to do that. In my mind, I was not being able to show up for my clients, my soulmate ideal clients, in the best and highest way that I possibly could because of my money story. And because of my very self-discounting, self-diminishing thoughts, feelings, and behaviors around money. I'm going to read some of the comments here. Let's see, Courtney says, oh man, so many layers of judgment to disentangle from. Yes. And this really shoots us in the foot as women because we have so much judgment. We have so much judgment. I mean, this is a real thing, and maybe this hits home for some of you, but one of the ways that we judge ourselves as women, which is not, and I have worked with men before, not something I've ever come across with men and their money story, is that I've worked with women, more than a few, who feel like the fact that they are overweight, or they're carrying too much weight, or they're not svelte and slim and trim, that it is not aligned with them to be wealthy, that they have to be thin to be wealthy. Wherever that idea came from, I mean, we have kind of like a lot of effed up media messages that come to us from, social media, from mass media, whatever. But if you take on that level of judgment of yourself, and you have this as a belief, a false belief, that I have to be thin to be wealthy, what is that doing to you? What is that doing to you? What is that saying to you? That's also saying to you that wealth is conditional, that certain things have to be in place in order for me to be wealthy. Not true. And I'll tell you what, a man doesn't deal with that level of self-judgment. I'll tell you that right now. Or I have to be pretty to be wealthy. You know, a lot of women that I work with who have struggled with their visibility online, and it's really hurt their businesses because they're afraid to, start that YouTube channel, or they're afraid to get online and do a 10-minute Facebook Live. They feel like they have to be pretty, and their hair has to be perfect. They have to dye their hair. They have to wear makeup. They can't be in their PJs. And I say, you know what? If you think that that is what's keeping wealth from you, then it is. Because if you have that belief in you, that's just a truth. In the greater scheme of things, it's completely false. But if you've convinced yourself of that over who knows how long, then that is your truth. And then that is what is keeping money from you. And that's what's keeping your bank account dry. So there are so many layers of judgment and so much like bullshit ideas that women have, especially around money. And it's keeping us in a place of disempowerment. And we work through a lot of this stuff in the Wealth Consciousness Collective. And from now on, I'm just going to call it WCC because it's quite a mouthful. So I'm either going to say WCC or Wealth Collective. Courtney says, yep, going deeper each time. I love that we have the opportunity to do so. Yes. When you sign up for the live version, you get to come back every single time and up level and get into that higher income threshold. My money story's been shaken up big time. Yes. Energy of debt was the most tangible shift in my experience. Yes. Because here's the thing. All of us have debt. All of us have debt. Even some of the wealthiest people on this planet have debt. But there's the thing with having healthy debt and being out of control with your debt and feeling like you have complete awareness of where you are with your debt, how you're paying it off, what you're doing to kind of whittle that down, and what you're doing in your everyday life to add on to that debt, or hopefully not doing in your everyday life to add on to that debt. So I do a big talk about the energy of debt and what it really is, and we talk about money and what that really is, what money isn't, and that's in every week through 8 weeks. There's audio lectures for the Wealth Consciousness Collective, WCC, and there are exercises. Hi, Karen. So it really is about doing the work, okay? We have to do the work. WCC is not a money manifesting course. It is not. It is not a money manifesting course. This is a it's a wealth incubator, really. It's a money mastermind that helps you to get financially independent, that helps you have financial empowerment so that this carries on through your life going forward. Super, super important for us as women, okay? And I want to tell you why. Judgment is disempowerment, absolutely. And we have so many ways that we judge ourselves. Holy moly. And we talk about all that in WCC. But why is it so important for us right now as women? Okay, I talked briefly about the fact that if we have more stability and security in our lives, we are able to serve from a place of greater support, right? When we feel supported, when we feel flush with our money, and we feel like, you know what? I got that shit on lockdown. The rent is paid. I got money for groceries. I have money to take care of myself and get some self-care. I have money to invest in my business. I have money to take my kids on a vacation this year. I haven't been able to do that in 10 years. Whatever that is, when we have that feeling of being on top of our money story and in control of our own personal economy, we are able to vote with our dollars. And what do I mean by that? So I talked about that briefly. That means that the change that we want to see in the world, we are better able to initiate that, okay? Now, is that the only way to make change in the world, being in charge of our money story? Hell no, hell no. But what does money give you? What does money give you? What is money? It is the freedom of choice. Money is the freedom of choice. And let's just kind of roll back through the chronology of being women, okay? Let's just go back, let's just say 100 years. Would you say, in the most objective viewpoint that you could possibly have, that women have had the freedom of choice over the last 100 years? Let's even go back further, the last 250 years. Is that something that we've been afforded? Is that something that was allotted to us? Maybe in some rare occasions, right? But overall, no. And when we empower ourselves as women to be in control of our own personal economy, to have financial independence, we get to set the tone for the world that we want to live in. We get to change the paradigm. But the thing is, we don't get to change outside paradigms until we change our inner paradigm, our inner belief system. You can't have one without the other. You can't show up and expect to effect massive change and transformation on the planet if you are not doing the same thing inside of you. I've been doing this work for 18 years, ladies. I know what I'm talking about, okay? And those of you who are feeling me, just go ahead and give me a heart right now, okay? Give me a heart. Because until we change our belief system inside about what's possible, and one of the very tangible and real and practical ways we do this is how we feel about money, our relationship with money, and making that more empowering. Don't we feel like anything and everything is possible on the outside? Just tell me from past experience, from when you've been flush. Maybe you've had a good month in your business. Maybe you've had like a check come in that was unexpected, a bit of surprise income it came in and graced your life. Didn't that feel like, oh my God, what are all the things I can do with this now, right? And you get excited. And here's where we're really being called as women, like many of us. And I know that those of you who are showing up and you jive with my vibe, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Many of us as women, we're feeling this massive wave of transformation hitting the planet. And what we are feeling overall, yeah, it may be overwhelming on some days, but what we are feeling, what's the common denominator underneath all of that, underneath our ego stuff that's being affected by this massive wave of change? What we're feeling is possibility. Limitlessness. Yes? Who's getting goosebumps right now? Anybody? Give me a heart if you're getting goosebumps, because this is what's going on. We're starting to see more and more glimpses of our limitlessness. We're starting to feel in pockets, not everywhere, but people starting to live more from their hearts. People starting to come more from their heart. And how do you know this? When you hear people talking about stuff. Maybe people are saying things in conversation that they didn't say before, that seems more heart-centered, that seems more compassionate, that seems more loving, that seems more kind, okay? Like I said, this is happening in pockets. It's not happening everywhere because we are living in a world of contrast, and that is a fact. But the people that you are vibrating with the most, the people that come into your field of awareness and you feel like you have some sort of common denominator with them, wouldn't you say that your conversations are becoming more real, that things are becoming more heart-centered? People are starting to put their attention in places where there really is a need for change. Yes? Yes? Karen, 25 years from me doing the work. Awesome. That's a beautiful soul sister right there, Karen Hanlon. Awesome. Fighting the good fight. Do you guys feel me? Do you get what I'm saying? So we are being called collectively as women to contribute to the world in a way that we never have before. Or we feel like, this is kind of an illusion, but we feel like we haven't been allowed to participate in the change of this world before. We're starting to, as we feel this possibility opening up, this limitlessness opening up, literally starting to get glimpses of our quantum potential unfolding. We start to get more creative, don't we? We start to get more inspired about ways that we can affect change here, not only in our own lives, not only to have impact in our own lives, right at home, right where we are right now, but also in the world. And we feel excited about that, don't we? I know I do. I feel excited about my ability to create change in this world like I never have before. And a big contributor for that, it's not the only one, but a massive contributor for that is me being in charge of my personal economy. Me being in charge of what's in my bank account. Me feeling like I'm in control and I have financial independence. This is something that I thought I would never have. And like many of you, I grew up with a lot of disempowering beliefs about money. You know, my parents were always arguing about money. There was never enough. And I don't know how many times I've had that thrown down, in my family. That there would be like fights and throwdowns all the time about there's not enough for this, there's not enough for that. And figuring out, well, where is the money going to go this month? And all of that, this constant like struggle and suffering. And that in order to have money, you have to overcome something. That is so indoctrinated into the very core of my being, into the fabric of my whole life. And for many of you, that is the same. Can you change it? Yes, absolutely. That's a resounding yes, absolutely. Is it our imperative right now for us as women in order to really understand our female empowerment? And that's one way of having us being able to translate that female empowerment, is being in charge of our personal economy. Because like I said, when we're not in a place where we feel this anxiety and fear and denial all the time about our money, we're able to show up in a way that is unrestricted. And we can give from the highest and best expressions of ourselves because there's no layers of illusion between the real us, the highest and best expression of who we are and everything that we want to do on this planet. There is no difference between that version of us and who we are in the outside world every day showing up in our lives. There doesn't have to be any restriction. There doesn't have to be any withdrawal from that highest and best expression of who we are because we're worried about other things that are taking our attention and our energy and our awareness away. Like, how do I get the bills paid? So do you guys see what I'm saying here? How important this is? And can you feel my passion about why I am so jazzed and so excited? And I feel it's part of my mission and my calling to show up and do these live talks and get you guys fired up, to get you guys ignited, to want to step into more of your female empowerment. And having more money is a way to do that. Like I said, is it the only way to do that? No. But it sure does give you that one thing, that freedom of choice. You get to choose then, however it is that you want to show up in the world. I felt when I didn't have control of my money story that, number one, my choices were very limited. And that even starting out as a spiritual entrepreneur, when I wasn't making any money, I could only offer certain things. I could only do these things to offer services or packages or programs to people because I didn't have the money to, let's just say, get the structures in place to offer a premier package or offer a signature program, offer online courses because I didn't have like the digital stuff set up, didn't have the money to do a website, all the stuff, right? It's not like you need all of those things, but I wanted those things because they call to the particular way that I want to teach, to my flavor for teaching and offering the best of who I am to the clients that I work with. And I felt so restricted for so long. I felt so diminished. And what does that do to your everyday life when you're showing up with a client? It takes your energy away. It saps you. It bleeds you dry. And if I was showing up as the highest and best version of me, meaning I was feeling totally supported in my everyday human life, I could devote more time to being a better listener with clients, even to offering, more tools to my clients, having more tools in my spiritual toolbox to be able to serve whoever, with whatever they're being challenged with at the moment. Totally fired up for the next round. Awesome. Me too. You can probably tell I really love teaching this program. I love teaching WCC. And the reason why I love it is because we've got almost 30 people in here right now. And a lot of the people have been there since the very beginning. But there are so many people in WCC program who are really fired up to do this work. And I love that because, yes, it's challenging to look at your stuff. It's challenging to call yourself out on your stuff. It's not the best thing to look at all the ways that you've been diminishing yourself in this lifetime around money and all the ways that you've allowed this to happen. Because yes, one of the things that you must embrace if you are in this program and you really want to reap the best benefits out of this work is you must embrace that you are the creator of your reality, period, the end. There is no other way. Where you are with your money story right now, you have created it, you have allowed it. Period, the end. And I get very, very adamant about making sure that the people in WCC understand that. And they do, and they're showing up and doing the work anyway. Even though sometimes it is, like I said, not the prettiest thing to look at your stuff and to crack yourself open and see what's really going on. But this is the sacred task in front of us at this time as women. To really empower ourselves, there's only one way to do that. is to go on a deep journey of self-discovery. You must be self-realized. In order to be self-empowered, you have to be self-realized. And that means that you have to get honest with who you are. You got to crack yourself open and look at all the moving bits and parts and say, yeah, that's me. Does that have to stay me? Nope. Nope. Not at all. And one of the ways that I'm just going to say it here, I'm very, very gifted, is it showing you that, yes, you have this. Yes, this is you. Yes, this is where your current reality is right now, but it could change tomorrow. And here's how. Here's the step. Here's how you change that tomorrow. Here's how you start becoming a different person, rewiring your entire inner reality so that tomorrow, literally, you're a different person. Next week, you're a different person. Next month, you're a different person. Every single person that showed up and did the work in WCC thus far, up until this point, and we start our next round on May 21st, they are different people now than when they started. Absolutely. Because when you start making different neural connections, you start feeling different feelings, you start becoming more self-aware of the thoughts that you're thinking, the feelings that you're feeling, the behaviors that you're acting out every single day, you will change. Anytime you become more self-aware, and that's just the first step, you have to, tweak what's not in alignment for where you want to go and what you desire and what you want to be. But the first step in really changing, and I'm talking like biologically changing, is becoming more self-aware, becoming I call it the great witness or the objective observer of your reality. When you move out of that place of like, I'm in pain because I'm poor, but if you just look at, okay, pull everything back, why are you poor? Why are you holding on to this feeling of I am poor? What is beneath that, driving that identity statement of I am poor? This is the stuff we look at. This is a deep dive. This is why this is not a money manifesting course. And I'm not crapping on money manifesting courses, but to be honest, and there's some good ones out there, but to be honest, the task at hand for us as women, the sacred task that we must endeavor to do at this time to become more personally empowered with money, it goes deeper than just being able to manifest money on the fly. And we talk about manifesting in here. I actually talk about instant manifesting in this course, but that's just a small part of what I share here. I'm talking about rewiring your entire personal reality around money and completely shifting the inner paradigm that you have about money and wealth and financial independence. This is a deep dive. It is really powerful. It is an incredible amount of valuable, actionable content for a very small investment. And the reason I make it a very small investment is because I want you to be able to say yes to yourself. I don't want you to think about you're saying yes to investing in a program. I want you to think about saying yes to investing in yourself, in your future, your desired future. I want you to say yes to all the changes and shifts that you want to see in your life. But better yet, I want you to say yes to all the shifts and the changes and the massive transformation that you can impact here on this planet. Yes, you. We can't, as women, be waiting around for someone else to wear the mantle of thought leader, way shower. It's you. It's me. It's Courtney. It's Karen. It's Tammy. Okay? It's whoever else is going to show up on this call. Okay? It's you and me and every lady you know that has the ability to impact the planet in a greater way and to initiate the change that we want to see to take the world in the direction that, let's face it, ladies, let's be honest here, goosebump time again. We already see these possibilities opening up, right? We already see the potential timelines opening up. We already see the pathways and the passageways that we can start walking. But are we going to be fearless enough to start walking this way and hopefully, through our own personal empowerment, lead a pack of others behind us? It's you and me and every lady that you know. It's not some lady out there somewhere that you haven't met yet. It's you. It's me. This is how I do it. I lead this program. It's what I do in my teaching and my coaching and my mentoring. This is how I do this. Because I have a divine, sacred vision about what this world can be. And you better damn well believe that I'm going to do everything I can in my power to realize the most of that vision that I can while I'm still on two legs. You better believe it. And one of the ways that I had to do that and get honest with myself, to be leading fearlessly and in a way where I could show up as all of myself and not worrying about, or having anxiety or denial about money, was being able to shift my money story for the better. Is this you? Give me a heart if this is you. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say, you know what? I don't know how to do it yet, but yes, I feel this too. I'm not sure of the steps, but yeah, this is me. Well, how about if you didn't have to worry about the steps? How about if you didn't have to worry about the how? That if you say yes to yourself in this way, and yes to this sacred task that we are all endeavoring to do as women right now, to be empowered, to lead the planet in the way that we want to, that this is your first step. And don't worry, I'll give you the rest of the steps. I'll give you the rest of the steps in this program. What if it was that easy? What if it was that easy? What if you would just show up and say yes today and do this? And I'll tell you what, the first 10 women that sign up today at the early bird price for WCC, Wealth Consciousness Collective, we start the 8-week group mentoring program. This is on a mastermind. It starts May 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific time. This is an amazing group of people. And those of you who are in here, Courtney, Tammy, if you can just validate this on me, isn't this an amazing group? So we have, not only do you get lifetime membership, every time I teach this program live, you get to come back. You get to up-level and upscale your income to that next income threshold. Not only that, but you have lifetime membership in the private Facebook community it's our members only Wealth Consciousness Collective, okay? This is an amazing group of there's some men in there too, but it's an amazing group of women and men. We all really support each other. This is not a place where, we have any pity parties for ourselves. Everyone is empowered in here. We talk about our challenges and our issues, absolutely. But I can't tell you how many times that someone has posted something in there, and if I couldn't get to the, response first, someone else came in and said, you know what, that was me last week and I did this or I did that, or just keep going. Like seriously, the people in this, it's honestly just straight up, it is one of the best group programs I've ever taught because, and I'm getting a little teary here because the level of support that everyone has for each other, because we're all in the same boat. We're all trying to get more empowered with our money, right? And we have some challenges. When we start to break this stuff down and crack ourselves open and see what's really going on, it's rough. I'm not going to lie to you. There's plenty of support in place for you to help you out, but it's going to be rough. There's going to be those times where you're just like, oh my God, there's so much. I'm never going to change this. Don't worry. You have a lot of support to help you get over on that. But the support that I've seen from the other people in this group supporting each other is amazeballs. I mean, it blows me away. And it makes me feel like here are those pathways of kindness and compassion opening up that I see. And this is just one of the places that I see it. And it's amazing, amazing, amazing. Courtney says, yes, seriously great people and new upgraded content every round. Yes. Karen Henless says, right there, right now. Ooh, no-brainer investment if you're feeling it. Yes, absolutely. You're going to learn so much about yourself in this program. And maybe those of you who are in here will validate that for me. You will learn so much about yourself in this 8 weeks. You're going to realize so many things about who you are, who you've been, and who you no longer wish to be in this program. It's powerful. It's electric. And like I said in the beginning here, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So when you start changing your money story and you become more self-aware, more self-realized, you'll also start seeing the impact in many other areas of your life. Many of the women, you read the testimonials, and please do go read the testimonials. If you go to the link I put in for kathrynmassell.com/Wealth Consciousness Collective, you can scroll down and read the testimonials. A lot of the women in this program have said, but there's so many other areas of my life that changed from taking this course. It can't not be that way. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And that is especially true with your money story, because your relationship with money is your relationship with yourself. Hi, Becky. So let's just get super clear on that right away. And understand that you have created your reality of who you are. You have created your reality of your relationship with money. I know that sounds really reductive and oversimplified, but it's absolutely true. And you really do come to realize that in this program. So like I said, I want to make this really easy for you. And the first 10 women that sign up at the price of $247, which is just a no-brainer investment. It's a no-brainer investment for lifetime membership in this program. I'm not going to stop teaching this anytime soon because I love it. It's one of my favorite things to teach. I never thought I would love teaching about money. I do. I never thought I'd be good at teaching about money. I am, because I've failed spectacularly with money and my whole money story so many times in the past that I have such wisdom and insight to share with you. So many things to, so many ways for you to learn from me and what I've done, so you don't have to fall into the same pitfalls, or you can avoid some of the pitfalls that I've had altogether from what I teach you in here. It's a no-brainer investment at $247. The price goes up at 6 p.m. tonight to $347, which is still a no-brainer investment for an 8-week program of deep dive money transformation and a lifetime membership in the private Facebook group community. But the first 10 women that sign up will receive the Wealth Frequency Upgrade, which is something that is already in the Wealth Consciousness Collective, but you can get it now instead of getting it on the 21st. And you will also receive a really amazing advanced sacred soul alignment activation to help you kind of bolster and kind of lift you up and get you ready for this program. These are advanced sacred soul alignments that I share in the first week of my signature teaching program, which has become the Creatrix. And it is, I want to share with you what it is, because I want to give you all the proper info. But you'll get, if you're one of the first women to sign up, I'll do it for the first 10 women who sign up. If you sign up before 6 p.m. tonight, because that's when the early bird ends, you'll get the Wealth Frequency Upgrade activation, which is amazing. Some of the women who got this last time around started listening to it before we even started the course, started making more money and receiving surprise income. So that's pretty amazing. But you will also get the energy alignments from my signature program, Become the Creatrix. There are 3 sacred soul alignments that are advanced alignments for sovereignty, because yes, female empowerment is sovereignty. Willpower, motivation, and determination. It just kind of bolsters you and fires you up and gets you ready for this course and gets you ready for the work we do in this course, because there is work in this course. You can't just show up and do the live calls and expect things to shift. You gotta do the work, okay? But if you do, you will experience shifts. You will. And then the third is desire, hope, belief, and expectation, which are amazing energies to anchor into anytime you're endeavoring to make a massive transformation in your life. So first 10 women to sign up, do it before 6 p.m. Pacific time, before the early bird ends. This is an amazing program. Please do feel free to share this live. You can go ahead and do that if you're watching from my business page, Conscious Creatrix. You can share this. And I will put please share on the title when I'm done recording. But this is amazing. This is amazing. And I just, for those of you who are here, if you wanted to ask any questions, you're more than free to do so. If you're in the replay and you want to ask a question, go ahead and do that. But the first 10 women that sign up with the link right here, you get 2 bonus activations. Like I said, when I gave the Wealth Frequency Upgrade the last time around when I taught this course, some of the women were able to receive money and have changes in their income happen, surprise income come in before we even started the course. So I'm going to share that link again here to get signed up. You are in really good company in this program. There are amazing women in here. There's probably women that you know in here. There are women who are in the Facebook group community that we're all kind of, a lot of you here will know these women. Carolyn Nixon, Patrice Hutton-Jones is in there. Dina Randa Wadding is in there. Who else? Courtney's in there. My friend Tammy Morrison is in there. It's just an amazing, amazing program. And you owe it to yourself to be able to do this. And at this no-brainer investment price, with all the things that you get, it's just, it should be a done deal. It should be a done deal. Don't think about it as investing in a program, investing in just another wealth creation program. That's not what this is. It is a wealth incubator. It is a money mastermind that you can come back and you put it on repeat. And you can come back and get the live teaching every time I teach it, every time I offer more content, every time I freshen the material, even when I'm offering it at a higher price, you get to come back every single time and reap the benefits of the lifetime membership. And the support group is amazing as well, because you'll learn so much in there. And I always put bonus activations in there, bonus information, videos that I think are helpful, posts that I think are helpful. I'll go in and give you like a little boost for the week if you're having a tough time, if you're challenged with some of the stuff in there. There's a lot of support. There's a lot of guidance. There's an incredible amount of tools and resources to help you change your money story and move you into financial independence. So I hope that you'll join us in this program. If you can't tell already, I'm fired up. I'm ready to teach. I'm ready to teach it right now. I could start module 1 right now. I want to. But we start on May 21st, 10 a.m. Pacific time on Zoom. All the calls are recorded. So if you can't make that time, don't worry about it. All the recorded calls get uploaded into the support group, and you have access to those. You also have access to the online self-study version once the course is over, so you can go back and have lifetime access to that too. So many great things for $247. So get in here, invite a friend, come with a friend. Come with a friend, why not? Have a buddy. And I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to wish you so much love and peace. Get in this program. I'll see you. Bye-bye.